everybody, and welcome back to this latest episode from my Coronavirus 2020 Lockdown podcast. Coming up a little bit later on, I am going to be speaking to Vanessa Morrison, who is currently stuck at home, working from home and homeschooling her children. So we will be having a chat with Vanessa in a short while, and we'll see how she's getting on doing all these new things she has to do. Now, a little word of warning, this conversation with Vanessa could go, let's say, many ways, but I have a very good feeling that this could be a little bit silly. So hold on to your hats, it could be a bumpy ride. I mentioned in yesterday's podcast, I think it was, about an old friend of mine, DJ Zachy C. He is still smashing that target, that money he's raising for charity. I think is now well over £16,000. He has attracted a lot of media attention. And he does tell me that on Friday he is making an appearance on Granada Reports on ITV. So do keep a lookout for that. I think it's around about 5 o'clock normally. So yeah, do keep a lookout for Zach on ITV on Friday. And also, if you haven't already, go and look him up on Facebook, DJ Zachy C. Speaking of Facebook pages, I have set up my own little page for this podcast series. So if you want to head over to Facebook, and it's Facebook.com/KCLP2020, and it will take you straight to my page. Hit like, share whatever is on there, spread the love, all that stuff, you know. So I do hope you're all having a wonderful day so far, and I hope your lockdown is treating you well and nice, and I hope you're not all too bored. Right, I think it's on with the show, so to speak, and it's time to introduce my latest guest. So hello, Vanessa. How the devil are you? How is life in lockdown treating you?
I am splendid, and lockdown life is okay.
Lovely.
I don't know, how can you describe lockdown life apart from okay and just living my best life in loungewear.
That's exactly, yeah. How great is it? Save a fortune on washing powder.
No, see, that's the thing. I am obsessively washing all my clothes. It's like I found a new thing to keep me occupied apart from the volunteering and all the other stuff. And I obsessively washing everyone's clothes every day. Change the kids about 4 times from PE kit to normal clothes. Back to pyjamas. If
I was allowed out of the house, I would bring you mine to do, but I'm not allowed. So.
No, that's fine. I'm fine. Fine with what I've got.
Fair enough. So, Vanessa, thank you very much for joining me in my podcast, or on my podcast, should I say. It's very nice to have you here. Is that a cat purring?
It's my cat. She's come to join in.
Oh, MG, this
She's
podcast...
got some serious lockdown views. You'll have to mute out the swearing.
Why do I feel like this podcast is not gonna go very well today? Oh, dear me. Right.
I'm trying to move the mic away from her, but she's just like climbing up towards it. She's furious.
What's your cat's name?
Meatball.
Meatball.
Meatball the cat.
Meatball the cat. As if this could not have got any worse. You've got a cat called Meatball.
Yeah, she's white with black spots on her, and we decided because she had little spots all over her, we'd call her Meatball for the spots. But she's often referred to, I apologise in advance, right? She's often referred to as Bally or Ballbag. So, by us and the kids, parenting 101.
I don't think I can cope. I think I'm going to end it now. Oh. Well,
she'll be asleep in a
hello,
sec.
Vanessa, and hello, Meatball. I forgot what I've asked you so far now.
You've asked me how is lockdown.
How is lockdown? And you answered.
Yeah.
You answered, of course, because you're doing tons of washing. Right, okay. I'll cross that one off my list then. There we go. We've asked that one. Vanessa, you are currently working from home, aren't you?
I am.
How are you finding that?
So, in honesty, pretty bloody impossible, to be honest. So both me and Andy have been named as key workers. So Andy works for the DWP, but he has to go into the office every single day. So I'm at home and I work for, I kind of work supporting the NHS, but I don't work for the NHS. And so we've got quite a lot of work on, and just trying to find the space to get my headspace right so I can concentrate and think whilst keeping the kids entertained is pretty hard. So my current working day starts at 6 o'clock in the morning and ends whenever it can end, really, from the night time, whenever I've done whatever I need to do. And it's littered throughout the day with various requests for drinks, requests for bum wipes,
and that's
requests
just off your husband.
For assistance with... That's from Meatball.
That's from Meatball. So, of course, you are homeschooling as well.
Yes.
So how are you finding juggling both working from home and also schooling your children from home? Is that a word, schooling your children?
Well,
is that the right
apparently
thing?
It's gonna become a hashtag, isn't it? Hashtag schooling the kids.
Yes.
Homeschooling the kids. So, well, it's still a learning experience for me. So at first, I thought, right, what we'll do is we'll get on these apps. The teachers set up timetables for us. They've set up apps for us. Everything's good to go. And then what I quickly found, very quickly into day one, is that they fly through everything on their apps and be done in about 20 minutes. Lorna can't read, so I had to sit with Lorna anyway through the apps, and that were a bit pointless. And then they'd done everything they needed to do in a really short space of time. And then you're in this war with them, like, don't let them go on tech, like, text this enemy. And gradually, over this first week, what I found is actually tech is normally, in our house, something that, like, a big bone of contention when you can't go on tech all the time. And now I'm like, do you know what? I need to put you on tech.
Yeah.
Because I need to get on with this. So I need tech to occupy you for a little while. So it gives me a good hour to go over here. So we're just every day finding a new balance and finding a new way of doing things. But for me, the homeschooling bit is not just about the school and stuff, because all of that stuff they'll get back.
Yeah.
Reading, anything they'll miss on history. What I want them to understand is that they're living a history lesson right now.
Of course,
this kind of thing has never ever happened before for us, and it's my brother. He's in the army, my brother, and he's described it as the World War of our generation. And there's so many opportunities and learning opportunities coming out of this, and things that they've been so privileged and so lucky. So things like rationing and learning to self-ration themselves. So they get 4 snacks a day now that they put in the Smiggle bags, and that's it. When they're gone, they're done for the day. So they choose whatever they want in the bag, and then if they take a bite of it and they don't like it, they don't get to put it back. They can just, I'll eat it. Let's be honest, but they don't get another day.
Or Meatball.
Meatball bloody would eat it. Oh, I don't know whether I'm allowed to swear, but I swore.
It's fine. Blood is in the Bible, blood is in the book. If you don't bloody believe me, have a bloody look. There you go.
But yeah, so there's all things like that. So DIY, trying to teach them that. Obviously, I'm getting them painting me outside bar because that's the right thing to do for children.
See, everyone's doing DIY and stuff.
You've got to. When else do you get the opportunity to sit at home? Honestly, in this week and a bit, it's not even been 2 weeks.
No.
I've wallpapered 2 rooms.
Wow. See,
I'm all over this shizzle.
There is no excuses left for not doing DIY. You know,
exactly.
the biggest excuse was always, I'll do it when I've got some time. I'll do it when I'm not busy. Come on, that is not an excuse anymore. You can't go anywhere. So if you do have some free time, why not go and build a bookshelf or whatever? That's
it. Because, and I want to teach the kids that as well, because they never get the chance to learn that. We baked bread the other day, and although they were a bit moany at first, like, oh, my hands are getting messy, they loved it by the end of it. And when it come out of the oven, they could put butter on it, and it all melted, and it smelled really, really good. They loved it, and they were like, we made this. And so all little things like that they're not going to, they might do a little bit at school, but I like to think that now we're making memories of things like they'll build something. Yeah, of course
we are. It is. I mean, that's the whole reason why I'm doing all these podcasts. It's to make memories and something there to be documented about in years down the line.
Because that's it, innit?
It's important because this is, we are living something that we hopefully would never have to live again in our lifetime. And when all the youngsters are grown up and older, they can look back on stuff, and it's important that people remember it, and remember it for the good as well as the bad.
Yeah.
And Meatballs is proper pairing.
I know,
great.
she's back.
It's great.
I tell you, she's got some strong opinions, Kris.
It's great.
This cat, she's got some strong opinions. Stop your swearing, Meatball. Calm it down.
Yeah, so I guess, like, educating kids and things, it's not always just about your maths and English and your kind of your key subjects as such. There's lots of other lessons that can be learned, like life skills and things.
Absolutely.
You mentioned about baking and things, making DIY stuff, building things. I think there's a lot of good to come from this, what is happening, and I think it's a lot of things that people are going to learn other than education. It's shocking just like how many people are not able to do basic tasks like, boil an egg and things. It's
Absolutely, yeah.
And I think it's that kind of thing where at the minute now where people don't always have the option to ring for a takeaway anymore or Uber Eats or McDonald's or whatever. I think people are going to be forced in the direction to actually learn something new, whether it boiling an egg, making a cup of tea, or whatever it might be. I think there is some good to come from this. The fact that people are going to have to push their boundaries to do something different and get themselves out of the comfort zone.
Well, and that, for me, what you've just said there about getting out of your comfort zone is a key point of what I want the kids to learn from this, because not so long ago, Caroline Flack obviously took her own life, which was really, really sad and massively shocking. And everybody came forward with be kind, blah, blah, blah. And I wonder how many of them same people how some of them people have acted in this climate, and how some of them people have behaved with stockpiling, and how some of them people have behaved with other people, and how when they've seen people going out, they've instantly jumped on them and gone, stay inside, and almost with their pitchforks chasing them back in their house saying, you do this, without a thought of how many people need to deal with this in their own way, and they just need to get through it. And as much as I'm on board with the entire stay inside, be good, don't spread this around, we've also got to accept that people are going to deal with this in their own way. And if they're going out on the walk and they're doing all the things that they want to do, then that's fine. Obviously, don't be stupid and do like stupid things, go out in groups and things like that, go to your friend's house. But if people want to walk to the shop every single day, they're actually not breaking any guidelines, despite what other people might think. And if people want to stockpile toilet paper, it's ridiculous. But they might be doing it because they're not. So all these people, like you were saying, be kind, be this. What I'm trying to teach the kids is actually push your boundaries, break your comfort zone, stand on the front doorstep and clap your little hearts out for the NHS, because they're the guys who don't be embarrassed to do it, because we are together, and we are, don't be afraid to smile at a stranger in the street and say hello, because that might be the only conversation they've had today.
No, of course. Everybody is in the exact same position, and everybody has got their own stories, their own tales, and everybody's travelling through like their own journey as such. But we're all primarily in the exact same position, and so. You said about if someone wants to go out every day to the shop. I'm the kind of person who I shop on a day-to-day basis. So and that's something I've always done. Like as a family, we don't go and do a big shop, because you don't always eat it all, or you don't always need it all. So what's the point? So what we've always done is we take daily visits or every other day, and we go and get what we need as and when. And it's I have found myself, I go out every day to the shop, and now I find myself like, you can feel people looking at you like, well, what are you doing out again?
When all this started, I put a little post on when I found out the kids were leaving school, because I could feel the tension building in people, and like I could feel people changing, and I said to Andy at the time, I said, people are going to remember for how they act in this, and I genuinely believe people will be, but not only people, businesses will be remembered for how they treated their employees, how they acted, how they communicated. And so I put a little post on Facebook, and I said, just carry on doing what you do. And if you're shopping and you shop once a month, do that. If you shop once a week, do that. If you shop daily, do that. do whatever's right, but don't go out and buy all the toilet roll. Don't go out and buy this, because by doing that, you're forcing people out of the house. And it's the same with online shopping. I said, save the online slots for people who need them, the elderly and people who have to isolate. And but because that's what needed to happen. That's not what's happened. Because if you God, you try and get an online slot now.
Oh, I know. And I think I looked the other day and I forgot where it was, but I think the next available one was, I think, the 11th or 12th of April.
Yeah.
And it's ludicrous, but I can understand it. They only have so many slots. They only have so many drivers, and it's people really now who have turned to online shopping to get things that they don't particularly need. They're just doing it because
Absolutely.
It's an available shop. And it's like, oh, well, I don't know when I'll get a chance to go to the shop again. But it's like there are people out there who genuinely need that slot or that trip to the shop or whatever. There's always somebody worse off than yourself, and I think people are being very selfish.
They are being selfish. And like, I know people who've ordered online groceries from 4 different shops and they don't need them. But now, I was saying to Andrew, like, what would we do as a family now if one of us got ill? It would mean the entire household had to isolate. Yes. And how would we get food in for us and the cats? Yeah. And then that breeds that you need to stockpile mentality. Now we haven't, because we suddenly thought, well, actually, we'd just have to ask other people to help us. We'd ask the neighbours. We'd ask whoever to go nip to the local shop and get what we could, and like just do it that way. And so we tend to buy cat food for a month anyway. So we're due like a shop now. But it was the cats, to be honest, the cats more than anyone else. Because I thought, we've got lentils. If need be, I'll have boiled lentils. I mean, God knows our stomachs would not be happy after that many boiled lentils. But you know what? Needs must.
Yeah, no, totally agree. Totally agree. You get by with what you've got, and animals. I'm so glad you've mentioned that, because it's so easy to just think about yourselves and your family, and I'll be honest with you. The first things I thought of with all this was my dogs and cat, and it's like they were the first thing that came into my head when we were locked down, self-isolation, you can't go to the shop, you can't go out, limited shop, whatever, all this panic buying. I didn't think about myself and what food am I going to eat. I'm like, oh, my boys and the cat, like, what am I going to get them?
Absolutely.
And that as well is important. So I did the opposite. I went to the cash and carry and got a load of dog food and cat food.
Why didn't I think of the cash and carry? I've just done a massive order from Wilco.
So, and no, I'm not going to call it stockpiling, because I don't believe that was stockpiling. That was just a educated decision to think, oh, cash and
Absolutely.
carry, it'll be cheaper.
We buy cat food for the month anyway, so stockpiling or not, I buy cat food. I mean, is this stockpiling, Kris? I have 3 bottles of gin in my cupboard. Is that stockpiling?
I was just going to
They're
mention...
all different flavours, though.
I was just going to mention alcohol.
Or is that just...
That's being sensible, Vanessa. That's not stockpiling, that's being sensible. I saw a post yesterday on Facebook, and I'm not going to lie, I almost cried. It said it was fake. It was definitely fake, but it said new government guidelines. The health minister.
Oh God, I saw it.
Have you seen it?
Yeah,
banning the sale of alcohol. I'm like, what? No.
No.
Honestly, it was like someone just jumped on my heart.
Honestly, I thought, could you imagine what would happen if, like, I mean, me and Andy, like, I know some people have joked, said, oh, they're drinking every night. We're still being strict, and we're going, right, okay, Sunday to Thursday, we don't have a drink. Thursday night, we always, red wine Thursday, always have a glass of red wine on Thursday, sit at the table, eat a meal, have a glass of red wine, and then we'll have a drink on a Friday and Saturday.
Very
and I was
sensible.
just like, oh my God, like, what would happen if I couldn't break my week up in that way? So like, this, it just continued on that. I understand why they've done it, because it lowers your immune system. Only if you abuse it.
Yeah, I don't think it's real. I mean, at the end of the day, you're not going to stop. I mean, I've taken steps myself to actually curb drinking habits. So I only drink now on days that I've got Y in the name. So I think that's it's really good. You know.
It's really key. Well done, Kris. I'm proud of you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Meatball's gone quiet, but she's proud of you too.
Thanks, Meatballs. So Vanessa, can I ask you another question?
Of course.
So you are homeschooling your children. Mm-hmm. Do they understand the whole thing of why mum is now teacher?
So Jake does, but Lorna, so she knows about, in her words, and I quote, coronavirus, but she doesn't quite understand, and I think it's sinking in daily with her. So we're seeing a bit more emotion coming from Lorna every day, but she doesn't quite get why she can't see her friends, and she suddenly started dawned on her that it's her birthday next month, and that actually this might still be on her birthday, and we've had to cancel quite a lot of things that we had booked in. But Jake gets it now. Jake's got sensory processing needs, so he tends to take things quite literally anyway. So he'll look at certain things. So we've always found the best way to deal with Jake is just to tell him the absolute truth about everything. So we don't hide anything from him. So we always so if somebody's ill, we'll tell him that they're ill. And you know, like we always say, if somebody's really, really old, we say that they're really old, and he knows that means that it sounds really awful because he's had quite a lot of loss. The way that we've had to deal with that with him is say that people only die when they're really old or really ill.
Yes, yeah.
So, and we'll always tell you if somebody's in that position so that he doesn't have to worry about it then. It's something he can just move to the side. So we've told him everything, and we've told him even to the point of what would happen if me or Andy got ill in this, and the fact that we would isolate ourselves in one of our rooms if we got really, really ill with it. And so yeah, so he knows exactly what's going on. Do you know what? Can I just tell you? He's just appeared at the door. So he's obviously looking to tell me something and wondering what I'm doing. But yeah, so Jake's got a really good understanding of it. And I'm going to tell you a story, right, that Jake did the other day. So do you know these stupid quizzes you get on Facebook, like say, oh, ask your kids these questions?
Yes, yeah.
So one came up the other day and said, like, ask your kids these questions, see what answer they give, thinking they give funny answers. And Jake's answer, one of the questions was, what would you do to save the planet? So Lorna, being Lorna, was like, I'd just be kind to everybody. Jake said, I would turn back time, get on a plane, fly to China, find the man that was about to eat that bat and go, no, Mr. Chinese man, don't eat that bat.
Brilliant. But the perfect solution.
Yeah,
the perfect solution.
So Jake's saving the planet by creating a time machine, finding the bat-eating man, and going to warn him not to eat that bat, otherwise he's going to cause a global pandemic.
That just shows, though, how much he understands and how much he's listened. And and he gets it, because, you know, kids amaze me at just how much they actually know. And I think it's very important, as you said, about telling them everything, because they're going to find out anyway. And if they don't find out, then they either make up their own mind or they work it out anyway. And then it puts you then in a worse position, because you've got to justify why you've not told the truth, sort of thing.
That's the thing, and that's what we didn't want. We didn't want them to. So for us, for me and Andy, and we've always got this philosophy. So we don't want to. We want to shield them from knowing that, because we want them to be kids. So we want to shield them from all the bad things. But they've. But we also want them to understand people and understand what's going on around them. So because we've had like quite a bit of stuff happen in our lives. So. We want them to know that, you know, things happen sometimes, but it's not anything that you should. Don't be afraid of it. Just be happy and always go out and just smile and do this. And that's why the thought of them being frightened if one of us got ill, and by being ill doesn't mean we'd be really ill. It means we could have flu, like we could have really mild symptoms. But the thought that it could have been something else, and that we had to lock ourselves in one of our bedrooms, they couldn't come see us in our bedroom because we didn't want them to catch it. We didn't like the thought of them being upset, so that's why we sat them down and said, if this happens, if one of us get ill, it just means that one of us will be in Mummy and Daddy's room, the other one will sleep in your room, and you'll see us as soon as we're better. It's nothing to worry about. It's just, that's just the way it's gonna be. And they both get that, and we've reiterated that point whenever whenever we need to. And sometimes we'll see a worried face if they catch the news, because you can't listen to any radio channel without the news popping on and telling you how many people have died from coronavirus.
But it's always the bad stuff. It's never the good stuff. It's never
the positive.
How many thousands of people have actually recovered.
Exactly, and I've shown them videos from Italy, the videos of people singing in the unity that all this lockdown has brought to people of Italy. In the video of, I don't know if you've seen it, but the lady coming out who's recovered, the doctors have cured her from coronavirus, and she comes out to a round of applause from all the other doctors, and she's clapping them as well to say, like, thank you. And that's the stuff to focus on, that the NHS is smashing it out the park. And, you know, and should continue, like, and should be praised for it. And Jake's always been one that he does recognise the emergency services. So every year at Christmas time we have to go and we drop them off a box of chocolates and stuff. And actually, as this started, I run up to the hospital with some, like, cake, you know, biscuits and stuff like that. Emergency packs, I called them, for some of the workers up there before it got as bad as it, you know, not as bad, before it started to kick off, really, just because we knew what was coming, so they shoved them in a cupboard. But it's important for them to know as well that the NHS are working really hard and will doing everything they can to fix people, and they can fix people, and that's the positives. That out of this we'll get a more appreciated national health service.
I think you're right there, because a lot of people, they do take it for granted, and
they do, absolutely.
You know, I think maybe people from this will have learnt that they can just go to the local pharmacist and speak to them. Because they are as good as anything, and that would always be my first port of call, would be go and see your local pharmacist, and then if they can't help, ring your GP.
Absolutely.
I don't think I would ever go to A&E unless I desperately had to.
And I think, who would want to? Who would want to spend that time in A&E?
That's it. And that's always been because it's been so busy. And the way I think is, there's people who genuinely need that more than what I do. Obviously, if I was in a position where I needed it, then yes, I would do. But when you go up there, and it is full of people who don't particularly need to be there, and I think after all this is over, people will realise that, well, actually, I didn't go to A&E because I cut my finger, and I just put a plaster on, and it actually healed itself. So maybe I don't have to go unless I really need to.
Yeah. That's it. And let's hope that continues for a long time.
Indeed.
Because they're dead at the minute. I saw a post from a nurse the other day saying it just shows how abused it's been, because A&E is absolutely dead.
Yeah.
Now that people feel they might come up here and catch something.
Yeah. But, yes, we'll just have to see what happens on that front now.
Absolutely. Meatball's quite on that. She's no opinions on the NHS appreciation. She's quieting down on that one, so no swears coming from Meatball.
So, during your lockdown, Vanessa, what funny moments have happened so far?
Oh, that's a thing. Well, I shouldn't really say this on here, but my favourite moment so far of lockdown has been so Friday at work and during the workday. So have you heard of Microsoft Teams?
Yes.
So we had a Microsoft Teams party. Started at 3:00 in the afternoon. We all just sat there. We just had some news that we were waiting from the NHS that wasn't quite what we were hoping for. And so we just decided that we were going to start drinking beer.
Yes.
And, it quickly turned into a proper party with people just sat around, and after 2 hours in and about 4 beers in, I was like, do you know what, guys, I'm gonna have to dial off, because this is still work, and I've got to dial off, got to maintain some professionalism here. But the other guys stayed on.
Brilliant.
Stayed on until 8:00 at night. In this time, I was up in front of my camera doing Tales of the Unexpected, just because I could. I was leaning into the camera, boobs first, just because there was one guy on it who kept sitting down on the floor and pushing his crotch into the camera without meaning to. So I was like, right, okay, genitals in the camera, go. And so that has been, that sounds really sad, that, because considering I've been at home with my family all this time, but just my favourite, it was just such a break from that monotony and all that stuff, and just watching people get slow. It was like a reverse Christmas do. We were all sat in our own homes in our pyjamas, looking a proper mess, But we all had our cameras on going, do you know what? Let's just stick our genitals into this camera because we can. And who cares that we're on work's platform? Let's just do this anyway. So, yeah. And I put the phone down at, I forgot, well, 2-3 hours in, put the phone down. I was like, do you know what? That race, I realised, I thought, I'm actually quite drunk. I've been sat on that phone, just supping beer, begging Andrew every 5 minutes, just looking at Andrew going, have you finished your beer? Can you go and get me another beer? Everyone at work just thinks I just boss my husband around all the time and ask him to go, which, well, let's be honest.
Do you know one thing I really, really want to know?
Go on.
Is how many like office workers that are now currently working from home and they are using Skype to attend meetings or hold meetings. How many of these workers are naked at the bottom half when they're on camera?
Oh,
because
I'm telling you, there's going to be a few.
There's got to be. I mean, I watch the news and things, and people who pop up doing a little piece from home, and they're there in the nice shirt and tie. I bet you're naked at the bottom half.
Oh, some definitely are. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you, Chris. And again, this is not for your podcast, really, but I've once been on a conference call and had a poo.
Brilliant.
And then I just, when somebody asked me a question, if I thought that I didn't need to, I just cut it off and then claimed that I'd accidentally been cut off.
Brilliant.
So it's just, sometimes
Brilliant.
You've just got, when you're on them conference calls, and I don't know if you saw this, but there is an article where Walmart have said that they've sold more shirts than they have pants because people are just in the trackies but wearing a shirt up top.
That proves my point. I
bet BoJo's doing it when he's dialing in by video.
Damn right he is. Damn right.
BoJo's sat there in a pair of wire fronts under that desk.
Damn right, yeah.
Actually, do you know what I'm going to do now? Next time I have to go on a Teams video call, I'm going to do them massive knickers I bought for Retake That we threw on stage.
Yes.
I'm just going to wear them at top and just something else. Sorry, them at bottom and something else at top. And I'm just going to, and I will prove it. I will send you photo evidence.
Brill.
But it's...
Brill. So, like, on social media and things, I laugh so much because some of the things people are doing are hilarious. What has been the funniest kind of meme or comment or whatever you've seen on social media so far?
So, my favourite one, and it's so childish, this, but it has been my favourite, and I think it's been my favourite because it made the kids laugh as well. But there's one where it shows a little boy and he's got a Nerf gun, and it says day 5 of quarantine, and he turns the Nerf gun round onto his peanuts and shoots himself. right in his peanuts, as Jake would say.
Peanuts.
And then instantly, as he starts dancing and crying, they overplay it with an Irish music, so it looks like he's doing the river dance.
Brilliant.
And it really tickled me.
I think I've seen it. I think I have seen it. No, my favourite one, which made me laugh far more than what it should have done, was a picture of Postman Pat and a caption saying, "Please keep your knockers clean for your postman." It properly entertained me. It properly amused me. Just, yeah, because I'm a child.
Yeah, but do you know what? You've got to laugh at these things in. If you can't be childish during lockdown, then when can you be childish, Chris?
Exactly. You know, I've said this before. You've got to smile. You've got to be jolly. You've got to keep smiling, because if you don't smile, you're just going to cry.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? And there's been no tears in this house yet. There's been some slight we're going insane moments, but no tears. Apart from the kids. The kids have cried. I mean, they cry every day. It's like standard over one thing or another. Well, Jake doesn't, but Lorna, she's a right drama queen. She doesn't cry over out. But yeah, me and Andy have kept it together. So watch this tonight. I'm going to absolutely put this phone call down. I'm like, oh my God, I'm in lockdown.
Have a lockdown breakdown.
Feels like a song. Maybe we'll enter into Eurovision next year. Lockdown breakdown. Yes.
We could even have a dance to it.
Oh my God, we've got the theme right. We're entering Eurovision next year. It's happening.
Oh, awesome! Brilliant. I reckon, you know, I think what we need to do is, and I need to say and encourage people to tell us what their favourite funny Facebook social media meme, lockdown meme thing is. And share it to my page, and then we can have a reconvene, and we can
Absolutely.
we can go through them. Well, we're currently on 36 minutes.
Yes, that's what I was saying. God, I love to talk.
Same. We could go on all night. We could go on all night. So just before we bring this to an end and I go back into therapy, I can still hear Meatball's purring, and
She's gone.
I know, but it's embezzled into my brain.
She's one of them Meatball. If no one's taking on her opinion, she just storms off, and that's what she's done. We don't share her opinions on
bit
lockdown.
like Donald Trump.
Yeah, that's exactly. She is the Donald Trump of the cat world. She's off quarantine in the corner of her bedroom now. She's like putting him into quarantine.
Brilliant. So just before we come to an end on this and we say our goodbyes, thank you very much for partaking and being involved with me. I've actually enjoyed the laugh. It's been really enjoyable.
Me too. It's been awesome.
A much needed giggle.
Me too. I've loved it. Loved catching up.
Yes. So I'm going to say goodbye, and again, thank you very much. And I'm sure we can get together very soon in person and catch up on those many, many missed Prosecco nights.
Absolutely. Oh, imagine the bottles we will drink.
I know. I think I'm out of practice. To be fair, I might have to have a little practice tonight.
Right, get on that house party app. We'll at some point we'll have a Prosecco night in.
Yes.
We're on it.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's have a virtual Prosecco party.
Absolutely.
I'm up for that. Right, well, enjoy the rest of your day, and I will be seeing you very soon.
Thank you very much. Take care.
And yourself. Look after yourself. Stay safe.
You too. Stay safe. Take care.
Speak to you soon. Bye. So a big and massive thank you to Vanessa for joining me in that podcast. I am not going to lie to you. I do feel a little bit mentally exhausted, but I need that. I'm still laughing over the cat. Oh, dear me. It was much needed. It's nice to laugh. It's nice to be jolly and to be cheerful. So again, yes, thank you, Vanessa. And people listening, don't forget, share your favourite funny moments or memes, whatever. Post them onto my Facebook page. And at some point, I will go through with them with Vanessa again, and we'll have another bloody good laugh. But in the meantime, keep looking after yourselves and keep looking after your loved ones. Keep staying safe, keep being careful, and most importantly, keep washing your hands. And I will speak to you very soon in my next podcast.